Hey guys, good morning. This morning I wanted to upload a video on the reason why I decided to get rid of my Tesla and to get to buy a car with a traditional engine again, my BMW M4. As you guys know, I always try to upload video as short as possible, so I will jump into the topic straight. First, sorry if I'm not showing you all the reasons and issues I had with my Tesla, showing you exactly what I'm talking about. But as you know, I actually returned my car. Now it has been like 3 weeks ago. So it's I don't have the car in front of me, but I will try to explain you exactly what was the issue. The first problem that I had with the Tesla was the quality. As you know, you pay quite a bit for those cars, and the quality is not even close, in my opinion, to be acceptable. First, the doors. As you open and close the door, you feel the extremely poor quality. When the door closes, it doesn't even close with a smooth movement. It closes at step, because the sensation is that if the door it's actually bent and it doesn't close correctly, then vibrations everywhere, and that sounds very weird. But when you actually listen the radio at high volume, you have vibration everywhere. And by the way, now I will highlight all the issues that I had that brought me to choose a BMW. But then I will also highlight all the positive things about the Tesla. So quality, poor quality in general. Poor quality, again, the door, poor quality when it comes to the vibration in a lot of places. And then other poor quality example are related to the leather, for example, in the front seats. So think in this way: you have the front seat and the back side of your front seat, where the side that faces the passenger. My son kicked the seat one time, and he detached the leather from the seat. And there are a lot of other examples like this in terms of quality. Then there is an issue that I had that is not just a quality issue, but it's, in my opinion, something more. The overall AC doesn't run as expected, and especially the AC in the back seat, sometimes, and especially when the car was fully charged, so the battery was very warm, it was not uncommon to set the AC on cool mode, like 70 degrees, 69, and the AC in the back seat was blowing hot air. So imagine summer, I tried to turn the AC on in cool mode, and my children were literally burning behind there, over there. So that was something that I noticed. It was really peculiar. And then, of course, we need also to add the fact that when it comes to the AC, even in the front side of the car, the cabin, it was never precise in terms of blowing air at the right temperature. I noticed a lot of time, based on, for example, the status of the battery, that the air blown colder or hotter. That is in terms of quality. There are some other examples, but that is just to give you an idea. An overall poor quality. Second issue that I had with Tesla was related to how fast you were able to burn out tires, to use the tires. Now, of course, when you have an electric car with all that torque, you accelerate, and that's for sure. you accelerate and you want to feel the G-force and all this kind of stuff. However, I have never driven a car in a racetrack or fast in a unreasonable way, if that makes sense. I was, yes, sometimes accelerating at the traffic light, but I didn't floor it many times. And despite that, I had to change twice the tires in 28,000 miles, twice. So and keep in mind that a brand new set of tires is $1,300, and I had the 18 inches. I had a long range, so 18 inches front and back. The cost was $1,300. So that is something that, in my opinion, needs to be considered when you guys decide to buy the car. The other issue that I had with the Tesla is related to the energy consumption and what is related, of course, to the overall range. I purchased my car long range because I wanted to have a range. That's pretty much it. And when I got it in 2019, the car came factory with 310 miles. Now, you need to know that in the first part of the life of the battery, there is a significant loss in the range. And mine dropped down from 310 to 290 miles. So I lost 20 miles in, if I remember correctly, it was something like the first 6,000 miles, 7,000 miles. Keep in mind that back then, I paid close attention never to charge a car up to 100% or to drop the status of charge below like 5%. Despite that, there was that loss of range, and you're not gonna recover that. It's done. Then electric vehicles are extremely sensitive to external element, the outside temperature, and I've uploaded a couple of videos that if you guys want, you can go check it out. But when it's very cold, you lose immediately range because the car needs to spend energy to keep the battery at the correct temperature, and plus anything else that you need inside the cabin, like your heat mode and so on. But you lose a lot of value, a lot of range. And then the tires, the status of the tires still affects the status of charge, the range. Long story short, during winter, I was able to get, let's talk about the energy consumption. Okay, when we talk about energy consumption, we measure that in miles per watt. That is, you guys probably are already aware of that. Miles per watt, and if you do a very simple equation, that is 75 kilowatt, that is the capacity of the battery when I got my Tesla Model 3, divided times 310, you get, if I now remember the math in my mind, but you get close to 240 miles per watt, watt per mile. So you're gonna use 240 watt per each mile. So when your computer tells you that you are consuming 240 miles per watt, at the point you are able to get 310 miles worth of range. Well, there were just a few instances that I was able to get 240. And that was during when it was not too hot or too cold outside. That played a huge role. And when I was not driving fast, as you know, electric car, they don't have a momentum at high speed like a normal gasoline car in the highway, where at a specific speed, if you maintain that, the engine actually runs more efficiently. For electric car, that doesn't work in this way. high speed, the car is actually not that efficient. The car is efficient where you go fast and then slow down, fast and slow down, because at the point when you slow down, you actually generate energy. And so I was not able to get that. The car was, especially during winter, I was around 320, 330, going at 60 miles per hour in the highway. Now in the city is still efficient, very efficient. But if you need to go in the highway, well, you're at 330, 340. So if now do 310 divided by 340, you get whatever miles you should expect. So the range is really a big deal. Then close to when I return my car, and I'm referring to after 2 years and a half with 29,000 miles, well, my capacity dropped down to 260 miles, 270, sorry. And I got really uncomfortable. I said, well, from 310 now to 70, and then you have all the additional loss of energy due to other factor. That's really, really not, that's really, it's not reasonable. And then I said, well, you know what, I'm returning my car. Now I'm going to charge it to 100% every time I need to. And by doing that, I actually recalibrate the battery. And I brought it back to 290 miles. And I was charging every time up to 100%. Disclaimer, I'm not saying that guys, I'm not saying that that's what you need to do. Because Tesla for a long time said never charge up to 100%. So I'm not saying that that's good for the battery. But in my experience, so do not do that if you don't think so. And in my experience, by doing that, it helped getting back my range to 285, 290. So the range was another reason why I decided to go back to a normal car engine. And keep in mind that there are Tesla Supercharger, and I have never had an issue finding Supercharger, never. But you need to plan ahead. So you may need to go to that specific hotel because it has a charger. You need to go to the city because it has a charger. So you need to plan around that need. And that is something that, in my opinion, is very important to say. Another problem that I had is my experience with Tesla. Now, my fault first. I take full responsibilities about that. When I got my Tesla, that was my first time I leased a car. And I lease cars only because if there is an accident or something like that, I want not to bear the loss of value of the car. That's pretty much why I like to do leases. Now with my Tesla, back then in 2018, where I live in Alabama, there were not many Teslas. And there was a lot going on with Tesla in general. And so I thought, well, if something happened to Tesla, I ended up having a car that I don't even know where to bring the car to do maintenance, even if there is not much maintenance, but to do any repair if needed. And so I said, to be safe, to play a safe game, I'm gonna lease it, and I'm not gonna buy that. I don't care. Tesla doesn't allow you to buy, in any case, Tesla Model 3. So now, after 2 years and a half, I asked Tesla in every way possible, can I buy that or I can trade it? Can I trade it? They told me no. It was part of the contract, so I don't want to say anything there, but that was a huge limit, because keep in mind that the residual value of my car was around, if I remember correctly, 45,000, and I would have the buyback would have been like 35, 34, 33. So I lost $11,000 that I could have gained. Tesla didn't allow me to do that, and I say, okay, that is fine, but I also returned my car with 8,000 miles less than what I paid for. And Tesla told me, well, we're not gonna give you any money back like any other manufacturer does. If you bring the car with less miles, they give you an allowance there. Nothing. Well, but can I at least okay, you're not giving me any money back for the miles, you don't allow me to buy the car, can I at least void the disposal fee that is $350? And they allow you to, they void that if you buy another Tesla. And guess what? No. So there was really, I lost quite a bit of money there in that car, and I returned the car in wonderful conditions. So I'm not blaming that on Tesla, that was what the contract said, but there must be also flexibility where you say, well, this guy returned to 7,000 miles less with brand new tires and so on. Let's do something for him. So those were a little bit the reasons why I did that. Also, if for whoever wants to buy a Tesla, if you do not live close to a Tesla store, remember it's gonna be a little bit difficult dealing with Tesla because no many store like to put their hands like to put their hands on the Tesla. So it was even difficult replacing my tires because not everyone wanted to work on Teslas. One more thing that I wanted to say on the overall experience, the paint work. Guys, be careful if you lease a Tesla because there is a specific conditions that you need to meet in terms of when you're gonna return the car. It's called normal use, normal tears and something, tears and dents. There is like a guideline that you need to follow, and the Tesla paint job, guys, is really not that good. The paint layer is so cheap, it's so thin. Anytime something or someone touch your car, boom, you have a dent and you have a chip. So those are the reasons why I decided to move on to another car. But before closing this video, I have to tell you that driving the Tesla in the mountains was one of the best experiences of my life. Why? The engine was so smooth. So smooth. It's an electric engine, of course. So when I was riding on a turn, it was so pleasant. It seemed like a sailing. It was really, really nice. And then I went up, and then all the way down, the car charged back a lot of energy. So the overall consumption was close to this 240, 250 we were talking about. Really nice experience. Having the opportunity to plug the car at home was a really nice opportunity as well. I had my charger, and let me see if I can find. I want to show you now. I have the front camera, so I need to show that. Do you see over there? That was my charger, and that was so convenient. Anytime I came back home, I was able to plug my car, and the day after, my car was full charge, and I was paying roughly every week, no, every month, $40 worth of electricity. Keep in mind that I paid around $8 to full charge my car. Now, if you want to charge it in a Tesla Supercharger, that's a different story. That's a different story, you know what? Because it's way more expensive. If I remember correctly, I paid around $20, $25 rather than $7, $8 that I paid at all. But that was a really nice, another pro. Charging at home, paying pretty much nothing was a really good pro. The registration was quite expensive because here in Alabama, if you have an electric car, you pay additional registration fees, additional taxes because you're not paying taxes towards the road maintenance once you purchase gasoline, pretty much. And that was $130 more, which is a big deal, honestly. I mean, it makes a difference. And those were the huge pro. I gotta tell you, I like going for a short trip with my family, especially during winter when we go to other cities and so on, and putting my babies in the car with my wife and driving in the mountains has always been really, really nice, really, really nice. The last downside that I want to tell you about, it's the internal noise. Maybe I'm picky, maybe I'm overwhelming, but the cabin, so the engine is completely silent. It's electric. There are no vibration. There is nothing. However, the car, it's not well insulated inside under a noise point of view. So anytime that you drive at 70-75 miles per hour, you hear a lot of noise from the wind and from the tires. And that brings you to have to increase the volume of the radio so high to contrast this noise. And that's really unpleasant, in my opinion, because you have a car that should be very silent, and when you are in a highway, it's quite loud inside, and you ended up hearing a lot of noise between the radio that tries to offset the wind noise and the tires noise, and your babies are trying to sleep. That's pretty much it. Long story short, I got my BMW, and I will, if you guys want, please comment below, and I will upload some videos about, I will probably do about my M4, but my wife has a Volvo XC90, and I think that the best deal would be for me having my BMW M4, and for my wife having the Model X. Because I still like the idea of electric cars. I still like the idea of a car that has pretty much close to zero maintenance to be performed, except for the tires, that is tricky, but there is no other maintenance to do. And when there is, my Tesla was extremely spacious inside, way more space in the cabin than probably my wife XC90. Honestly, there was a huge amount of space inside. My BMW has quite a bit of space, but not even close to the M3, to my Model 3. So that's pretty much it, guys. I wanted to leave a short video. I ended up leaving 22 minutes video. Sorry for this. I hope you're gonna find it interesting. If you have any questions with Tesla return, Tesla general information, or my experience, comment below and I will upload another video, or write me and I will provide any information needed. Thank you, guys.